As animals of this earth, we innately have a desire to be surrounded by the natural earth, even if we don't realize it. It's like if a goldfish lives its entire life in a half-gallon tank, it won't necessarily know what feels wrong, but something will feel off. And even for the people who love living in the city, when you go into nature and you are surrounded by trees, anyone and everyone feels calmed. We live in such a human society and we forget that we are a part of a much bigger picture than that. We are a part of the natural world. The fibers of this earth are what make up our body, and when we die, our body will become a part of the soil again. We will continue to be a piece of this earth even when we transform in new ways. So learning how to live in a city for me has meant learning how to deeply honor that while staying connected with nature and with the natural world in a modern way. Some days this means going to parks and going swimming in the ocean, going on hikes, and just finding ways to actually be in nature. But on days where I don't have time for that, which is the reality for most people who live in an expensive city and have busy jobs and busy lives and don't have time to always go out into the natural world. So I find nature in new ways. I find nature in the patches of grass that grow between the sidewalk cracks and the palm trees that grow in this concrete jungle. I find nature in the clouds, in the sky, and my ability to close my eyes and let all of the noise just fade away. I find nature in humans because we are just as much this earth as a blade of grass is. I find nature in people's smiles and laughter and conversations and in the unspoken words that can be found within the blink of an eye. I find nature in the cashier at Trader Joe's when we forget our roles and she tells me about her son who is 7 and how she's going to be off at 8 and just forgetting our roles as cashier and customer and remembering that we're both just humans on this earth having a genuine conversation. I find nature in the people who pass by me on the street and expect me to ignore them and say nothing, and instead, we say 1,000 words in one hello. We find nature in each other because we are nature. And when we connect with the deepest part of ourselves, beyond all the roles that we play, it is like putting a hand on the earth and soaking in the sun. I find nature in myself, this body that allows me to be. It is nature, and I find my center in it. And when the city feels a little too loud, it is myself that I return to because I am the earth growing out of itself, and I'm still the earth. And so if you live in a city, remember that your center, the deepest part of you that maybe you've learned how to feel in nature, you can find again within yourself, within other people, within simple things like the sky and grass. And it is so beautiful to me because it's something that I totally did not understand until I moved here and spent time here, is that for a while I thought the only place I could feel peaceful was when I was surrounded by trees. And I realized that when you open yourself up to genuine human connection and to genuinely wanting to find the deepest part of someone that also lives within you, it is like being surrounded by trees when you're surrounded by people. And you find your center, you find grounding in people. And that is just the most beautiful thing, is that you can find that in literally everybody. And living in a city, it has been integral for me to put out the extra energy to say hello to people on the street, to wave, to say hello to the cashier and have a conversation with them, and be nice to the waitress or be nice to the people in customer service, because you think that it's just one thing and you're not making a difference. But I can tell you that in a city, feeling that human connection, that genuine connection, and that genuine expression of love is the most grounding thing in the world. And it is interesting because I never thought I was a city person. And it has been very challenging for me to learn how to live here and stay grounded. But it has been the most rewarding thing, because I know now that no matter where I live, I can find my center and my grounding in people and conversation. And I can find my grounding and my center in the sky and the grass. And mostly I can find that grounding and that center within myself, because I am nature. My physical form is an expression of this earth, and it is the most beautiful thing in the world. And yeah, if you live in a city, make that extra effort to connect to the earth in every way that you can, because your body is just as much the earth as grass and soil and everything is. And so you have to remember to honor that and to find how you can connect to that. It'll change the way that you experience your life. So yeah, I just wanted to share that today. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you're doing well and taking care of yourself. And I hope that no matter where you live and where you are, you're learning how to ground yourself in your surroundings and in yourself. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day today.